Yo, what's going on, guys? And I'm actually in the library. Hopefully, no one cares. But what I want to talk about is the Brooklyn Nets' success. And it's really done to because of their bench. Okay, their bench has been next level. Like, I honestly want to say that James Johnson, and also, can we talk about the return of Nicholas Claxton? Cameron Thomas actually becoming their sixth man. And because of this success due to their bench, this has allowed LaMarcus Aldridge to enter the starting lineup because they were utilizing LaMarcus Aldridge as their sixth man. But with the rise of Cam Thomas and James Johnson off the bench, it really has allowed LaMarcus Aldridge to re-enter the starting lineup. And obviously, I mean, even Patty Mills has entered the starting lineup. I mean, he was having success. But Patty Mills and Marcus Aldridge were originally signed to be their co-six man, Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson of the East, you could say, a point guard and a center. I know Joe Ingles, Jingling Joe, is a small forward, and Jordan Clarkson's a shooting guard. But either way, that they were really supposed to help come off the bench with Joe Harris and Kyrie being in the starting lineup. But Bembry, Patty Mills, LaMarcus Aldridge have done phenomenal. Bembry's underrated. That guy is their glue guy. They have three glue guys on this team with Bruce Brown Jr., James Johnson, and DeAndre Bembry, and especially James Johnson, the better scorer. Like, if you guys have not been following, I want to hear your thoughts right now down below. Do you guys agree with me that the Brooklyn Nets' success has literally been because of their bench, okay? Because now that LaMarcus Aldridge and Patty Mills is in the starting lineup, Patty Mills gives them another shooter on the floor, and so does LaMarcus Aldridge to stretch the floor. And this allows DeAndre Bembry, who really isn't a shooter. He's more of a defensive guy, rebounder, assister. He does everything except score, focused on doing everything except score. And he's a guy who can guard 1 through 5. And this allows off the bench, first off, Claxton, who's missed some time, was it because of injury or something? He was sent to the G League for a while because they needed him to recover. And this being his first game since October, he came in. And I know it was only 3 minutes he played, but not 3 minutes, sorry, my apology. This is the second game that he's played, and he's only played 24 minutes. He played 3 minutes against the Timberwolves, and tonight he had 6 points, 9 rebounds. He didn't have any blocks, but he did clog up those lanes, and he's the perfect backup because I really like James Johnson being out there. He's a guy who can guard. He can be a small ball 5, but he can also guard some wings, while Nick Claxton can switch with James Johnson on the floor. And this has allowed Paul Millsap to kind of be taken out of the rotation because right now off the bench they have their scorer in Cam Thomas, they have their secondary scorer in James Johnson, and really, when Kevin Durant and James Harden are off the floor, they leave LaMarcus Aldridge, Patty Mills, and put Cam Thomas out there, and they still have 3 guys who can score at a decent rate. So when you look at that, you're just like, damn, the Brooklyn Nets, their bench is good, okay? And they took out Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's gone, guys. I do not be surprised if Blake Griffin gets cut. I doubt that actually because I think they want to keep him just in case some injuries, he might become good. But this is a team that without Joe Harris or Kyrie Irving is gone. He's not coming back. But Joe Harris is expected to return later this season. So for the time being, what they've been able to do, Cam Thomas come off the bench. I know he only had 6 points tonight, but he shows that he can do other stuff, play some defense, rebound. Javon Carter, the West Virginia Mountaineer, and Paul Millsap are kind of at the bottom of the barrel. Bruce Brown only comes in when DeAndre Bembry doesn't need, or James Johnson is taking a breather, because Bembry and Johnson together, they have about 53 minutes combined. And it really is Bembry comes out for Bruce Brown, and Bruce Brown comes out for Bembry. And really, whenever Bembry and Bruce Brown are on the floor, it's because they either have Johnson, Durant, and Aldridge out there, or tonight they had Claxton, Aldridge, and I think it was Kevin Durant out there. So sometimes they go big and they can have success with it. So when you look at that, you're just like, damn, the Brooklyn Nets are good. They got a deep bench. On paper, you would never think that team is that deep on the bench, but you're just looking at it and you're like, wow, that deep. But when you thought in the roster, you're like, damn, the starting lineup was gonna be Kyrie, Joe Harris, Kyrie, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and either LaMarcus Aldridge, or really we thought it was gonna be Nicholas Claxton or Blake Griffin, and then the bench was gonna be Paul Millsap, James Johnson, either Nick Claxton or Blake Griffin, Bruce Brown, Javon Carter, and people weren't excited, but as times came out, their true bench is really James Johnson, Nick Claxton, Bruce Brown, and Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas the scorer, Claxton's the defender, rim running, high energy, shot blocking, big man who can play about 20 minutes a night. Bruce Brown's their other glue guy who replaces DeAndre Bembry. And then Paul Millsap, if LaMarcus or James Johnson gets hurt, can come in, and if Paul Millsap, James Johnson, or Marcus Aldridge gets hurt, they have Blake Griffin to come in. It's a great deal.